Virgo season is really going to fortify these other energies into us. Hey y'all, welcome to Meryl's Mystic. I'm Meryl, and I empower witches, bitches, and dudes to complete themselves in order to have healthier soulmate relationships and more purposeful lives. And I'm also a tarot psychic medium, and I connect with the universe and the spirit world to bring you any messages that you may need to help navigate the ever-changing energy in on this crazy blue ball that we're flying through space on together. Welcome to my channel. If you've never been here before, I'm so happy you're here. If you've been here before and you're returning, I'm also happy you're here. Thank you so much for your support. Please be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, share with your friends, cross-watch. For the tarot scopes, I always recommend that you watch for your sun, moon, and rising sign. These are general readings, so the messages might not always land with you, and that's okay. You can leave them for someone else and wait for the messages that are meant for you. So today we are here to talk about Virgo season. Happy birthday, Virgos. I think we'll probably need a little bit of grounding after Leo season, although it was a really fun, fulfilling Leo season, and I hope that you got some of the Leo season magic in your world. And it's still time. There's still time. You can still go and watch your Leo season tarot scopes if you haven't. We definitely are going to have some of the fun, unapologetic energy carrying into Virgo season. So Virgo season goes from August 22nd, the evening of the 22nd, maybe the 23rd where you are, to September 21st. And so in the northern hemisphere, this is the end of summer and it is the end of winter in the southern hemisphere. And so Virgo season is a mutable sign, and mutable signs always come at the end of the earthly seasons. And then we have an Aquarius. Well, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. First, right before Virgo season turned to Virgo season, the evening before into the morning after, the 21st to the 22nd, is our second Aquarius full moon. And if you haven't watched the replay of the Aquarius full moon live, definitely go check out the energy reading for what the Aquarius full moon is. The second Aquarius full moon is bringing us. Leo season was bookended by these Aquarius full moons, and since it's literally pretty much happening the same day that Virgo season switches over, it's within the same 12-hour period that these energies are all transitioning. It's gonna carry a lot of that Aquarius energy, and some of the Leo energy that played with the Aquarius energy of being our unapologetic weird selves, no matter what it looks like on the outside. Some other dates that you'll need to remember is Venus went into Libra on August 16th and will be there until September 10th. Now, Venus rules Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. And so when planets are always in their ruling sign, they affect us much more powerfully. And when Venus is in Libra, it really has us prioritizing our emotions when it comes to relationships, not just romantic relationships. And really, I feel like I just heard love languages. And so I could see that this is a time where we're really going to be exploring what our love languages are, and also how do we communicate that to others. The Venus in Libra will be helping us communicate our boundaries also. Any of these forms of self-love, or how we love each other, how we love each other, how we want to be loved, all that kind of stuff is really going to be stirred up for those couple weeks, or It's just under a month. Next, the Virgo new moon is Tuesday, September 7th, and there will be a live probably like that Friday or Saturday before. Keep an eye on my social media to find out. And then we will have our full moon in Pisces right at the end of Virgo season on September 20th, which is interesting because we're going to really have kind of like a very Virgo-y Virgo season, since the full moon, a lot of the time the full moon can kind of help break up the energy of the season and can give us a nice balance to it. But we're having these moments now where the full moons are coming at the end of the season, so it's kind of like a highlight. So I'm very curious to see how this Virgo season, how the next month is kind of, I have a feeling the energy is going to kind of build up to this full moon. So all this Virgo energy is really we're still playing off of the energy from the season before. It's the theme of this year. And we're coming off of this very strong Leo Aquarius energy from Leo season, and it's being brought into Virgo season by this last Aquarius full moon. The Aquarius full moon is helping bring over this Leo season energy that was really highlighted by these Aquarius moons, and this energy of being our unapologetic self, being, even if it looked weird from the outside, and really like accepting who we are. And from Cancer season we got like, what do we really want and who are we really? And now in Virgo season, it's really about like just standing in that place, standing in who you are. I think Virgo energy sometimes can be overlooked because a lot of Virgos can appear to be introverted, or they can kind of stand off in the back. They like to be supporting players. And because it's just after Leo season, which is a very expansive energy, there is more of a contracting energy in Virgo season. And I think Virgo energy and Virgos in general can sometimes be easily overlooked because they all appear always to like have their shit together. Isn't that nice? Wouldn't that be great? Which, I have a Virgo moon, and so I have noticed that people are like, man, you really seem like you have your shit together. I'm like, well, at least it seems like I do. Maybe one day reality will catch up. So, but the really valuable thing about Virgos and Virgo energy is that they're an earth sign, and that they're usually very solid people. They usually already know what they want and what they're working towards, and they seem to be able to effortlessly balance like all the parts of their life. And so we really, that's the part of Virgo that we really need right now, especially after maybe some of the transitions or sacrifices that you felt you've been making this year in order to really step into who you are and to show up as the fullest embodiment of yourself. We really need this, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Virgo season is really going to fortify these other energies into us. So you can still go back and look at your Leo season tarot scopes. You can even go back and look at Cancer tarot scopes, because you really needed to know what Cancer season was bringing you in order to tap into Leo season, and then in Virgo season, that's all getting fortified within us. So it really doesn't matter when you watch these things, you get the messages when you're supposed to get the messages. So it really is kind of it's just about, and the word boundaries kind of kept coming up, but it's more than that. We were already setting boundaries at the beginning of this journey, we've already had a lot of this energy of like setting boundaries, and this is more just the boundaries are already set. It's about maintaining them. It's about holding those boundaries. It's about holding ourselves accountable for the intentions that we've set, and not allowing ourselves or others to take advantage of that. So another piece of this about boundaries and holding ourselves accountable is our rituals and our habits. And this started coming up with the Leo full moon, that we really needed to start looking closer at not just like our rituals and our routines, because we all need routine in a certain way, but it's also like our habits within our routines and the things that we are doing on autopilot, and we just do them all the time because we're used to it, and a lot of that stuff like you have to continue doing. But we also should be recognizing maybe the habits we formed that aren't really serving us anymore. The routines we've created that aren't setting us up for success. So this is really about like self-responsibility, because that's another quality associated with Virgo, responsibility. They are an earth sign. They know how to show up. They know how to get things done. They know how to make plans. So they're can-do people. They just do it in such a subtle way that unless you have a Virgo close to you that you know, you probably wouldn't even like realize like who the Virgos are. I always feel like it's a lot of times earth signs always surprise you that they're earth signs. Because most earth signs have a good sense of humor too, but they're naturally supportive people when they're not in their shadow, at least. But we all have a shadow. It's for every sign. Every sign has a light and a shadow side. So we're trying to focus on the light side of this energy. But there's always lessons that come with this energy also. And that brings us to our tarot card of the season, which is the Hermit. Virgo is associated with the Hermit card in the Major Arcana, and this is part of like why I feel like Virgo can get a bad rap, because they can easily isolate and be introverted. But I know a lot of Virgos that once you get them out of their shell, they're like out of their shell and they're like, we're gonna do this now. And so with the Hermit, and this is really great for this season, because the Hermit is all about like learning also. It's represented by a masculine figure. And if you notice that they are actually on top of a mountain here, like looking down on creation. And then you see the light in their lantern, and then the staff is actually very symbolic also. Staffs have been used as symbols in all sorts of beliefs and religions for a long time, and it's a symbol of like the way shower, the leader of the person that knows the way. And then we have the like literal light representation of light, and that's also of idea. And the thing about the Hermit is that, knowledge is power for sure, and Virgo is not a dummy at all. I feel like it's very rare to find a struggling Virgo. We're all human though. And the thing about the Hermit is though that the Hermit has to come out of their cave eventually. You can't just like hoard all this knowledge and education to yourself. You have to share it eventually. That is like a big lesson and message of the Hermit. And when it comes to this Virgo season, it's really great because we're having it highlighted by this Libra in Venus, and we're carrying over our lessons from Cancer and Leo season. And so, and this has all been about learning about ourselves, really, and learning about like how we are with people, and how we are with ourselves, and how we are in the world. And now it's time to fortify that and stand in it. And see, they're standing strong. They're looking down like, oh, there's probably some people I should let know what's going on. So it is about that, about being honest too about these things that we've learned about ourselves with those around us. So that's the general overview for Virgo season. Please be sure to follow me at Meryl's Mystic on all platforms so that you can dive deeper with me throughout the season. I do a live for the new moon and the full moon, and then those energy overviews will be posted on YouTube. Cool. Let's get into your teroscopes. Hi, Sagittarius. How are you? How was Leo season? I hope that you got some of that great fiery energy to help gas you up and make you feel good about yourself. Let's see what Libra has in store for you. Libra energy is a great match for Sagittarius energy. I know quite a few Sag-Libra couples. And with Venus and Libra, I think it's going to help you guys out this year also. Ooh. Knight of Swords in reverse. It's funny because I have a Sag rising, and one of my very best, closest friends is a Sagittarius, and we were just talking about how our mouths can get us in trouble, and we're working really hard on being aware, trying to, see things before we react to them and say them. I've been working on thinking before I speak for most of my life, I feel like, because my mouth's got me in trouble a lot. And so it always is wild when I'm around people who clearly don't do that. I even had a coworker that was like, so it's probably good to think before you say something, right? Like, a lot of times, yes. Like, unless you're like in an improv class or you're like, you got a funny, quick joke, there's always times to be quick. But there's a lot of times in life where we need to think before we speak. And the Knight of Swords in reverse is exactly that. The Knight of Swords in reverse does kind of warn us to look before we leap also. The Knight of Swords is very gung-ho, I chose to do it, so I'm doing it. And there's a time and place for that. And there's a lot of times we need that energy when we decide something. This energy can also come up when you've made a decision to do something, or you've already said something, and now you have to kind of deal with the consequences. This is that don't write checks with your mouth that your butt can't cash, if you've ever heard that saying before. I love sayings and analogies and all that kind of stuff. So we have to try to be a little bit more aware. So we're not always dealing with these consequences that are, sometimes we need to deal with the consequences because there's lessons there. But this is more that energy of just wait, because you might not like these consequences. So after that is the Three of Cups in reverse. So there definitely is this, I feel like Sagittarius, you're already kind of tapping into this contracting, retracting energy of Virgo season. And that's not to say that things are going to be boring. These are not like boring energies. It's interesting that you're kind of getting these very out there energies because you're very out there and you're an extrovert and you like to be around people and you like to connect with them and you're a great conversationist. Conversationalist. Let's look that one up. And the Three of Cups is about like connecting with other people around you and connecting with them on an emotional level, but it just feels like, again, there's like this, let's make sure who you're connecting with. Let's make sure that when you're connecting with them, it's for a more fulfilling purpose, and it's going to fulfill you more than like just going out there and connecting. And that's, I think that's a big lesson for everybody, especially through this pandemic. Now we have the opportunity to go out into the world again and be with each other, but for a lot of people, and I think that it's for good reason, it's made a lot of people really think about what they're going and participating in, and do you really want to go participate in those things? Is that really going to be worth your time? Or do you really want to show up for that person? Do you really want to spend the energy on it? And so this is really making me think that you need to be very discerning about how you're putting your energy out there. Your voice is your energy. Your time is your energy. And there's like this having to look at how you're putting this energy out there, because there are bigger things on the horizon for you. And you are going to need your energy. So they do not want you to just be spending your energy on anything. They don't want you to just be saying whatever comes in your head or saying whatever like feels like needs to be said. They don't want you just going out and hanging out with whoever, going out just to go out, spending time with people just to spend time with them. Like, there needs to be reason. There needs to be a value of what you're investing your time and energy in. You have value. You have purpose. This is the Judgment card. I try to always cover it up because I don't like the name of it. Because it does not match with the energy that I connect to it. Is, the only judgment is within. And you are meant for something more. You have purpose. And so you're going to need your energy for that something more, for that purpose, for whatever is coming towards you. The universe is sending you something. It's sending you signs. It's sending you opportunities to wake you up. To wake you up to your true calling, to your true path, to your true possibility, to your true potential. Oh, interesting. Another three. Three of Pentacles, upright. And this is actually a more purposeful way of connecting with people. I mean, the Three of Cups, you would think, this definitely has its time and place, but there is like a frivolous energy to this card. And these opportunities come in abundance. You see how there's like abundant, it's pumpkins and, it made me think like cornucopia. There's like a cornucopia of abundance around this little party, because there's always opportunities to blow off steam like that. Or now that we're coming out of the pandemic, there's more opportunities for that. This is about not just the blowing off steam connection. This is about connections that help elevate you, and connections where you help elevate the people around you without even trying. You're that magnetic, Sagittarius. The Three of Pentacles is also about partnerships and connections and working like friendships and what's the other word I'm thinking of? Just like when we're in groups with each other, collaboration, cooperation. It's about the fact that everybody brings something different to the table. That we're getting out of this old paradigm that everybody needs to be the same and everybody needs to, be on the exact same page. I mean, sometimes we do need to be on the exact same page, but the path where you're heading is a path where you will be recognizing the gifts that other people bring to the table, the qualities that other people bring to the table. It's recognizing that no matter what age, no matter what gender or station in life, everybody brings everything to the table. This card comes up a lot too when we should be, or when you should be opening up your scope too of who's going to be close to you. Because as humans, we just kind of naturally get this idea of how we think our people should look or come off of, and the thing I've been seeing that's coming up a lot lately is personality is way more valuable than money and looks. And I think no matter how much you try to live by that, we all need that reminder, because we live in this flashy, look at me, you have to be pretty world, and we're all on social media. When in fact, everybody's beautiful. Everybody is beautiful, and we need to be seeing the world that way. The world. The world in reverse. So it's funny because the world actually comes right after the Judgment card. And I like that it's kind of like our stopping point. I love when the cards are like, and we're done. And we're done with what we're talking about. You need to focus on this for now. Because the world coming up in reverse really shows, like, we need to go back to the Judgment. Especially because the Judgment card is out. When these cards come up in succession and the next one is in reverse, it's always like a stop sign. Like, we're not ready to go here yet. We're not ready to complete anything yet. We're still on this journey. We need to go back to these lessons and figure this out. So it does feel like too you might be, this might be some shallow relationships that we're trading in for some more meaningful ones, some more solid ones. For sure, also. But the most important relationship is that with yourself. And your journey, because your journey is all about you. There's a lot of still this, this Leo season energy of being the protagonist of your own story, and that you have the power to do that. So, are you gonna become the master of your own destiny? The energy is primed and ready for it, and it's primed and ready for you. It's primed and ready for you to step on your path of purpose, whatever that may be. So I'm gonna pull you a Queen of the Moon Oracle card. There it is. Ooh, this is good. Surrender. I think it's Waning Crescent 3. Surrender. Surrender. Surrender, but don't give yourself away. It's always my surrender song. This is great because these first three cards here are like a surrendering. Get a little quiet, isolate just a little, and surrender to what the universe and your guides are guiding you to do. What is the world calling to you? Surrendering doesn't mean giving up. Let go of what you no longer need. Stop being so stubborn about holding on to aspects and behaviors that don't align with who you are now. Stop struggling. The mantra is, I let go, I surrender my struggle, I allow the universe to work through me. I let go, I surrender my struggle, I allow the universe to work through me. I let go, I surrender my struggle, I allow the universe to work through me. It took me a long time to realize that surrendering was a positive thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mean the giving up kind of surrender. I mean the, okay, it's time for me to hand this over type of surrender. For those of us who are highly independent and used to doing things quite ably on our own, admitting we need assistance or what we might indeed have to let go for our betterment can be challenging. Letting go and surrendering admits or exposes a vulnerability or two. To surrender, we may need to show our underbelly. We may need to admit we got it wrong, made a mistake, grew a bad habit, surrounded ourselves with people that are not good for us, made a mistake. It can make us feel raw in our realization. Remember, the moon phase is dark and beautiful, or this moon phase is dark and beautiful because it's on its way to the new moon. It casts a protective shadow that allows us to be as wide open as we need to be to do our work. We reveal safely to only the divine in ourselves, and then the light turns on. Companion stone is orange calcite. I think they're just telling you that you can take a break. I think you need a break. You're allowed to take a break. You're allowed to fall apart a little bit. You're allowed to turn to mush so that you can reform into a beautiful butterfly. Yeah, I think this is really great permission too. That this time is also supporting your vulnerability. And you have to be vulnerable with yourself in order to be vulnerable with others. So I hope that this helps you find some relief. And if you need any help and need more clarity on this, you let me know. All right, Sagittarius. Thank you so much. Good luck. You're right where you're supposed to be. And I will see you for Libra season. Bye.